It's just a day to the 2022 World Cup kickoff, which hosts Qatar will be facing Ecuador, and the matches will be broadcast live on KBC Channel 1 and all KBC radio stations. World Cup, Iko KBC. Good afternoon. My name is Wambiru. This is Lunchtime News, and welcome to the broadcast. Now, to kick us off, the government is seeking to enhance ICT infrastructure as it looks forward to transforming Kenya digitally. ICT and Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo says as the rest of the world advances digitally, Kenya will not be left behind as the government implements relevant policies to increase ICT literacy levels among Kenyans. The Cabinet Secretary made the remarks on Friday night in Nairobi when he met a section of Maseno School alum.
We want to transform this country by way of leveraging on technology for purposes of comparative advantage and also sustainable economic development. Just last week, I was launching a free Wi-Fi hotspot at the city market. We want to launch 25,000 of those. Yeah? So that we make internet and technology free for purposes of facilitating not just e-commerce, but also re-engineering our business processes to facilitate efficiency and effectiveness in the production processes and eventually not just create jobs, but also reduce the cost of living.
In other news, stakeholders from Kajiado have challenged the Ministry of Education to ensure students from drought-hit areas sit for the national examination. The group says not much has been done to ensure students who have been forced to migrate due to drought are facilitated to ensure their learning goes uninterrupted. Kajiado County Education Director Kosgei Kipruto says the first batch of KCPE and KCSE exam papers have reached the sub-county exam containers. He assured examiners and students of adequate security during the examination process.
Watoto wetu wamejiandaa vizuri sana, wote wanagoja mtihani ufike ambao itaanzia Jumatatu ijayo ikiwa ni ile practicals, na KCPE pia itaanza tarehe 28, alafu baadaye ndio mtihani wa form 4 KCSE na utaanza. Kwa hivyo kwa ufupi, kamati ya usalama ya wilaya imeweka mikakati ifaayo.
The only challenges that we are still experiencing is the drought that is we are experiencing in some parts of this county, but we are looking forward to interventions and strategies. We are working closely with the Ministry of Interior, the county government, to look at ways of how to intervene in that period.
Flower farmers, hoteliers, the clergy, politicians and traders in Naivasha have joined hands to raise funds to support families facing starvation in the lakeside town. Under the initiative that is led by Area Member of Parliament Jane Kihara, the group is targeting over 10,000 households that are in dire need of relief food. According to data from the government, Naivasha is one of the hardest hit constituencies in Nakuru County by dry spell, with all 8 wards facing total crop failure. Area Member of Parliament Jane Kihara says that government food donations were not enough for those living in the hardest hit informal settlement.
Hata simu ile inapokea na message ni watu wako na shida. Tena unajua tuko na hii shida ya NGCDF ambaye koti ilitupilia. Watoto wako nyumbani, hawana chakula, magonjwa ndio hiyo, na vile nimeona watu wengi wa Naivasha wamejitokeza, wako na idea mzuri ya kwamba tuwe tunakutana. Hata njaa ikiisha bado kutakuwa na mahitaji. Ndio tuwe tunasemezana, kwa sababu hiyo ndio kitu ya maana.
Bodaboda operators in Kisii County are set to benefit from a credit facility scheme established by the devolved unit. Through the facility, operators will access loans to buy motorcycles or fund other income-generating activities. Kisii County Governor Simba Arati urged the motorcyclists to register with savings and credit cooperative societies to enable them access loans. During a meeting with the operators at Kisii Stadium, Arati also warned the youths who were majority in the Bodaboda sector to shun social vices and focus on personal and business growth.
I have created the county credit scheme where you can get loan at affordable interest. Always advise the youth to always maintain peace, avoid being used by some politicians who are up to use potential for political experience on the basis of occasional piecemeal monetary token. I've asked you to maintain peace. Don't go for the tokens. Don't go for 10,000, 100,000, only to cause chaos.
Sector leaders in Embu County have sought clarity from the government over claims by some former Kenya Tea Development Agency directors that some factory title deeds may have been used as collateral for the SGR loan. KTDA board member Enos Njeru is urging the government to set the record straight on the claims by the former directors, alleging that it has caused panic among farmers.
Sisi tumewakanya na tumewaonya msikubali kuharibu sekta ya KTD na sisi tumekataa.
Ningetaka kuambia madirekta ambao wakati wao uliisha, hatuna haja na wao, waende kabisa na wasije kukadhangalia kutusumbua na kusumbua madirekta ambao walichaguliwa huko kadhangalie, maana hatuna haja na wao.
Leo kazi nyingine si walifanya kazi wakati wao muda wao uliisha, wacha kwanza wakae huko. Sasa tukichaguana tena wakitaka sasa kusimama wachaguliwe, watachaguliwa wakati huo.
Hao wanasema wataingia, hatutawapatia na nafasi. Na wana nafasi hapa kadhangalile kwa sababu sisi tulichaguliwa na wakulima kirasmi na tuko na stakabadhi zote za kuonyesha sisi ndio board ya Kadhangalia Tea Factory. Kwa hivyo wakifanga walete funjo kwa hii factory, nasi tuko tayari.
Hii ni namna ya kuharibia serikali njina kama si kweli, na ama bando kutumia uongo na kundanganya wakulima wa majani chai mpaka wanachanganyikiwa kunjua hali yenye ilivyo. Na ningeomba CS wa transport Mulkomen aweze kutokea kwa uwazi wakishirikiana na Interior CS Bwana Kindiki Kidhure na pia Attorney General Honorable Justin Muturi, ndio waweze kuangalia hili jambo, wafuatilie kwa ofisi ya DCI ndio waone kama hizo titles ziko.
Meanwhile, operations in Olkalau retail market in Nyandarua County were brought to a standstill for over 2 hours after the traders protested against the demolition of their stalls. It took the intervention of the security officers to restore peace and order.
Watu wa kanso walikuja wakabomoa vibanda na kukuwa na notice yoyote. Hiyo watu tumekaa nayo kwenye mikutano mingi, hata last week tulikuwa nayo kwa mkutano, tukaonelea mambo ile msuri. Kwanza ni kuchukua majina ya watu wale wanausia nje, tujue ni nambari gapi, na zile ziwanja siko ndani siko empty, tukaindiana waende wahesabu waone ni ngapi. Kwa hivyo tukasemezana hiyo mambo yote ikikamilika watatuita ili sasa tuone hiyo watu watakiwa located namna gani kwa soko. Hawakufutilia hiyo.
Watu wako na maroni kwa hii biashara. Wengine walienda wakachukua roni kwa soko ili akuje aweke nyanya yake, aweke karoti yake, aweke kitunguu yake ili apate kitu atapelekea watoto na vyenye atarudisha hizo pesa. Sasa tutaenda namna gani?
Watu wa soko waketi chini na governor, waketi chini na wale wanauzia hapa nje, wasikizane vizuri. Ikiwa ni hawa watu wa nje wapewe pahali pa kuuzia. Ombi lenu vile nalisikia ni kuwa soko ya wholesale ikuwe na days, siku zake. Ikiwa ni 2 times a week, ikuwe ni 2 times a week. Ndio wale watu wako ndani nao wawe na riziki yao.
Today is World Toilet Day, and as Kenya joins the rest of the world in marking the day, statistics show that only 30% of Kenyans have access to improved sanitation facilities. According to the United Nations, 3.6 billion people, which is almost half of the globe population, lack safe sanitation every day. Creating awareness on safe sanitation is anchored on Target 6.2 of the Sustainable Development Goals, which seeks to end open defecation and provide access to sanitation and hygiene.
As part of activities to commemorate the World Toilet Day, the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation commissioned sanitation blocks worth 500 million shillings in Kibra constituency. They are part of a project aimed at improving sanitation in Nairobi's informal settlements.
Hii choo imetusaidia, first of all choo. Kitambo tulikuwa tunapupu kwa hizo kasuku, flying toilets tunarusha kwa mtoni. Vile mulikuja na hii project ili tupendeza sana. Juu saa hii huwezi kutana hata na mafi kirushwa mali popote. Maji tunapata karibu, bafu pia iko ndani. Sasa hapo mlitusaidia kama watu wa community.
I want to also urge the people of Kibera, I want to urge Kenyans that whenever you have a facility like a toilet, use it with dignity.
The goal is to make sure that everybody has access to dignity and everybody has access to proper sanitation.
This facility, which I think is top notch, because you do have biofuel, you have sanitation, and you have community-based arrangements. I'm sure you'll make the best use of this facility.
The project, which is being implemented by the Waterworks Development Agency and funded by French Development Agency, has seen the construction of biocenters within Kibera, Kawangware, Mukuru, Korogocho, Huruma and Mathare, among other settlements. World Toilet Day is marked on the 19th of November annually. A United Nations Observance Day, it is set aside to inspire action to tackle the global sanitation crisis. It is estimated that 3.6 billion people worldwide are still living with poor quality toilets that ruin their health and pollute their environment. Jacqueline Masharia for Lunchtime News.
Well, that report brings us to a fast break here on Lunchtime News. Don't go too far, we still have more news coming up.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
The FIFA World Cup 2022 is finally here. KBC, in partnership with SportPesa, is inviting you for a free Soka Mtaani public viewing experience for the grand opening live match between Qatar and Ecuador. Together with your friends and family, join us at the Uchumi Hyper Parking Grounds along Gong Road. This Sunday, 20th November from 4 p.m. Indeed, World Cup, Iko KBC. November like never before. Mouth-watering programs. Maza takes a break and in comes football extravaganza. And a bouquet of the best of movies from the Orient lined up for you. Oh yes, November 2022 is like never before. Only on KBC Channel 1.
Hayawi huwa kinyang'anyiro cha kombe la dunia nchini Qatar cha wananga Novemba 20 hadi Disemba 18, huku timu 32 zikiwania taji. KBC Channel 1 inakupa fursa ya kutizama mbashara kipindi hicho kutoka Qatar, nyumbani kwako. Runinga ya KBC Channel 1 inakukaribisha kwenye kipindi cha Dunda Dunda Qatar.
Nakwambia kwamba baba, alama ya reli ni Dunda Dunda Qatar.
Na tunakuja nyumbani pale mtaani pale ambapo upo wewe mwenyewe.
Huku ukijishindia zawadi chungu nzima.
Hapa kumejaa vitu kocho kocho.
Jongea. Shabiki kwenye Dunda Dunda Qatar.
Ukitazama unashinda.
KBC Channel 1, mwenzio wa dhati michezoni.
Welcome back. Now let's proceed. A section of Kilifi members of County Assembly has expressed concern over the ongoing impersonation by fraudsters using their names to intimidate members of the public. Public complaints have also been made against individuals who pose as leaders in order to defraud locals of their money. Uganda member of County Assembly Oscar Wanje says a man recently impersonated him in Sabaki ward before brandishing a gun on a family there. Wanje wants the government to crack down on the criminals before it is too late.
Baada ya mazungumzo na haya wanajamii wa Sabaki, walibaini ya kwamba kulikuwa kuna mtu mwenye ambaye alikuja akatumia jina langu kama mheshimiwa Oscar, akija na oda ya kwamba wametumwa kuwafurusha watoke. Kwa hivyo mimi niko hapa leo kuja kusawazisha neno hili ya kwamba halikunifurahisha na ni jambo lenye ambalo linapaswa kuchukuliwa hatua. Mimi nahofia maisha yangu ya usalama kwa sababu inasemekana pia yeye alikuwa ametumia vitisho mpaka na bunduki kuonyesha hawa watu kwamba kuna bunduki na kuamrisha kwamba watoke. Ijulikane na ifahamike pia mimi sijawahi kumiliki bunduki, na hata kama ningekuwa na miliki nisingeitumia kutishia watu.
Uasin Gishu County Commissioner Edison Nyale has assured the business community in Eldoret of adequate security. This follows the chaos caused by a section of small traders and street families on Thursday that left businesses in motorists counting losses after shops were looted and cars destroyed in parking lots. Addressing the press, Nyale said calm has resumed in Eldoret Central Business District, noting that police have intensified patrol within the town. Uasin Gishu Deputy Governor John Berorot called on the police to arrest those who participated in the looting.
Weza kujitokeza na kuvunja duka, hiyo hatutakubali na hiyo hatutakuacha.
The disturbance also caused unrest and looting of business premises and establishment, and as a result, the county deployed security personnel to calm the situation and stop further destruction of property.
In other news, the row between Rendezvous, who are the Tattoo City owners, and Lifestyle Heights has deepened, with the developer calling on the government to investigate the working permits and tax remittance of the investors. This comes after Tattoo City on Monday this week termed the Lifestyle Heights developer a rogue, accusing the firm of allegedly violating the Tattoo City development controlled by illegally adding a floor to a building and irregularly paying for utilities.
Tattoo has come to the table with unclean hands, and we have to say enough is enough. For the reasons above and others, we call on His Excellency, the President, William Ruto, to revoke Tattoo's as is a license until all cases in court in arbitration are resolved. And we also call on for a public inquiry to be instituted to probe the questionable conduct of Tattoo's foreign owners. We say enough is enough.
We have done rounds and rounds of meetings and we are getting absolutely nothing. When we say enough is actually the truth. Because meetings that we have, they bear no kind of results. Yeah. And at the end of the day, from where we sit as Lifestyle Estates, we provided a value propositions to our clients. That includes clean water, reliable power, and faster internet. That is what we proposed to our clients. At the end of the day, we are a company, when we promise, we deliver to that particular promise. But when we are being frustrated by the same suppliers who had promised us the same, we have to come out and speak.
And now in the sports arena, Trailblazers Volleyball Club opposite Hater Moses Omondi Sialo has signed a 6-month contract with Iraq's top league side Erbil Volleyball Club. Erbil Club also takes a part in the Asian Club Championship. Omondi was very instrumental as Trailblazers finished 4th overall in the National League playoffs in July this year. The talented opposite hitter now joins a growing list of Kenyan players based abroad, among them Simeon Kipkorir, who plies his trade in Tunisia, Michael Chimos, who is based in Saudi Arabia, Abiud Chirchir, who plays in France, Peter Kamara, who recently moved to Bahrain, and national men's volleyball team captain Enoch Mugeni, who plies his trade in Japan.
I'm up to the task and I'm ready to grab the opportunity, and then I'll give it my all. I'm joining Erbil Volleyball Club in Iraq. It's a big team. Actually, it plays in the Asian Club Championship. It will be a good experience for me.
Now, Paul Odera has resigned as the Kenya Simbas head coach after the team's 18-22 loss in Hong Kong in the final game of the 2023 Rugby World Cup in Dubai. Now, Odera has a tough last few months at the helm of the national team. In a resignation letter, Odera says he takes full responsibility for the team's failure to qualify for the 2023 Rugby World Cup. Odera has been at the helm of the Simbas for the last 3 years, but it has not been an easy task. The Simbas failed to qualify for the World Cup through the initial African route after losing to Namibia in the final of the Africa Cup and had to go to the four-nation tournament where they lost all the 3 matches.
USA jerseys pouring through the Kenyan ranks.
Former Senegal international El Hadji Doué has backed Teranga Lions star Sadio Mane to deal with the disappointment of being ruled out of the World Cup finals. Meanwhile, alcohol will not be sold to fans at the World Cup's 8 stadia in Qatar after FIFA changed its policy before the start of the tournament. The World Cup finals will be televised live on KBC and 64 matches broadcast live on all KBC radio stations.
You know what it is.
Former Senegal international El Hadji Diouf has backed Teranga Lions star Sadio Mane to deal with the disappointment of being ruled out of the World Cup finals. Mane, a key player for the West Africans, who was runner-up in this year's Ballon d'Or, will not feature in Qatar after having an operation and a leg injury. African champion Senegal played their first Group E game against the Netherlands on Monday, with matches against host Qatar and Ecuador to follow. Diouf was part of the Senegal squad which reached the quarterfinals of the 2002 World Cup, is still positive about the team's chances of progressing to the knockout stages without Mane. Sadio Mane was crucial to the Teranga Lions' maiden Africa Cup of Nations final victory early this year and their World Cup qualification. Meanwhile, alcohol will not be sold to the fans at the World Cup 8 stadia in Qatar after FIFA changed its policy before the start of the tournament. Alcohol was said to be served in select areas within stadia, despite its sale being strictly controlled in the Muslim country. Those in corporate areas of stadia at the tournament will still be able to purchase alcohol. The World Cup starts on Sunday when host Qatar play Ecuador. 28 matches will be televised live on KBC Channel 1, but will be able to enjoy all the 64 matches on all KBC radio stations. World Cup, iko KBC.
You know what it is.
And now, in other news, the climate change paradox continues to open new horizons in the quest for mitigating its adverse effects. The National Kenyan Rangelands Carbon Project is one such frontier, and it has succeeded in involving the community in dealing with the changed weather patterns and rainfall failure that occasions drought. As Opicho Chemtai reports, the project is ensuring sustainable livelihoods among pastoralist communities residing in the county's northern rangeland.
It is becoming evident each passing day as global warming continues to drive climate change. The biggest culprit of greenhouse gases is carbon dioxide, owing to its presence in the atmosphere in large quantities. The New Horizon present is a reward for efforts to reduce carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, hence mitigate climate change.
It was built around grazing management and rangeland restoration and management, and so looking at the dry season grazing, the wet season grazing of the pastoralist communities, and really just looking at the livestock movement, patterns.
The project strives to remove greenhouse gases through sustainable grazing management, atmosphere through sequestration.
The project is expected to remove 50 million tons of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and we equate this to annual emission of 10 million cars. This can be able to tell you the amount of contribution that this project is going to make.
But through the grass maturing, grasses does the best they could do, and that is improve environmental health by absorbing carbon that is in the air and storing in the soil.
Remote sensing is one of the monitoring technologies adopted here to ensure that the grazing fields are not left bare, to enhance carbon sequestration. Information like projected rainfall amounts, temperature, and the gases in the soil on which the livestock graze assist in evaluation. Among the indicators of the success of the project are the plant's health and the ability of the vegetation cover to store carbon.
More perennial grasses, more herbs, more forbs for the livestock and wildlife. In the same time, it is improving the soil conditions. That means the soil is able to store more water, and it also increases the capacity of the soil to be able to absorb more carbon and store it within the soil.
It helps in improving our grazing plants, it helps in improving the health of our rangelands, and eventually it boils down to climate adaptation as well.
Revenue from carbon credits are expected to inspire the local community to conserve the environment by ensuring the vegetation cover is not disturbed.
that we are able to generate credits that these communities can be able to sell in the market to earn a revenue that can help them to address so many needs that they have.
Opicho Chemtai for Easy Friday.
That report by Opicho will be airing the part 2 tonight on our 9 p.m. bulletin. Well, and on that note, World Cup will kick off tomorrow, and be sure to catch the match right here on KBC Channel 1 and all KBC radio stations. My name is Jackie Wambiru. Sign language interpreter is Lucy Moore. Enjoy the rest of the day.